fastest lap for Vickery, 43.6.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the odds, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway.
Welcome to the Rebel Racing Rodeo. We've got 30 plus drivers holding on for dear life with one single goal: win. We've got a lot of competitors. Who's going to win tonight? Will it be one of the front runners, like maybe Kyle Spees? or possibly Dustin Matson, or Kayla McCarthy, possibly Brent Hunsucker, or Brandon Browning? Will it be a fan favorite like Christopher Lawrence or Kyle Gardner or Luke Smith? Maybe we'll see an underdog win tonight like Stephen Ford or Simon Grills. Maybe even a dark horse comes away with that trophy, like Josh Anderson. One thing is for sure. Tonight is going to be one wild ride. Only on the Throttle Up Racing Network. As we're getting ready
Welcome
to go qualifying
to the Rebel Racing Rodeo.
see who hops out onto the track first.
We've got 30 plus drivers holding on for dear life with one single goal: win. We've got a lot of competitors. Who's going to win tonight? Will it be one of the
Steven
front
Grills,
runners,
there he goes.
like maybe Kyle Spees, or possibly Dustin Matson,
Grills in the 16 car.
or Kayla McCarthy, possibly Brent Hunsucker, or Brandon Browning?
There we go. Sorry about that. That's a new thing, that video promo. I've got to figure out, remember to turn it off. So, Simon Grills currently out qualifying in the 16 car. Let's see if we can take a look here at just how fast that these drivers are going. 243 as they go into the corner. 230 all the way around the corner. Just trying to hold that bottom line going down this big, long front stretch. We can get a good look at just how much speed that they're carrying through these corners. I mean, it's really wild. And when we get into a pack, and it'll be a pack similar to Daytona, but as Kyle Spees told us last week, you can't stay drafting for very long because you will blow up. So currently, Grills does take the lead for now on qualifying. There's only 3 cars have made a time. Here's Sean Donald from that 11 Mellow Yellow car. Looks like we have some size more motorsports fans. And here's Brian Cloyd getting ready to take his lap. Let's see if where he can get on the board. He comes out on the back stretch. I think this view really gives you the best sense of just how fast that these drivers are going through the corners. Here he comes across the line to start his time. You see him go into the bottom of the turn. Just a massive amount of speed around that corner. I mean, it's incredible just watching one car drive around this massive track. Down the back stretch and into turn 3. Let's see where Brian can get on the board. Does a great job holding that bottom line. Running over 230 miles an hour down the front stretch. Crosses the line. And he will move into 9th. Now 10th. Jones, currently your pole sitter, he was one of the fastest cars in practice. Kyle Gartner out there as well. Getting this thing down to pit road speed is going to be difficult. As you see, he come across the line right there going well over the pit speed. Which doesn't matter in qualifying, but in the race, that's going to be tricky. Getting down out of that corner running 230 to 235 miles an hour and getting all the way down to pit road speed. Cloyd bumps back up into the 9th position. Mike Harper, a new name. currently 8th. Jason Arbel running that William Byron scheme. We'll see him running this year. Now here's a couple familiar names. Dustin Matson. Currently 2nd quickest. Brandon Browning just behind him. So someone we can expect to be up front tonight. Had a real bad week last week, but I'm sure he'll be bouncing back this week, no problem. There's Ryan Sizemore. Yes, we did have a Sizemore fan. He's currently 7th on the board, and that's where he will remain. We do have a couple of other cars out here qualifying. Jeffrey Vickery coming out to make his lap. Christopher Pendle. Wow, what a scheme. That brings back some old memories. The old Bill Elliott car. Christopher Pendle was very fast last week. Finished 3rd, I believe. There he is, driving around at 230 miles an hour. These straightaways are so long, a mile each. Actually, this track in total is about a half mile longer than Daytona or Talladega, yet they run lap times here that are similar and on their own actually are quicker on their own than they are at Daytona or Talladega. But as you see, the pole is at a 45.36. Second place Pendle there, 45.37. Vickery out. His first lap was only 27th position. He'll dive to the bottom. Let's see if he can get out here and move up the board on his next lap. We'll take a ride down this straightaway and go into this corner and see just how sharp these turns are. And as you can tell, he can't really see anything more than maybe a couple football fields in front of him as he's going through that corner. And at 240 mile an hour, 230 mile an hour, things come up quick. So if there's a crash in the corner, you're in it before you even see it. Jeffrey Vickery comes across 21st. All right, let's take a look at your standings after last week. Current leader in the championship standings is Kyle Spees, second. Dustin Matson and Kayla McCarthy in third. Fourth, like I said, Brian Cloyd, one to watch out for today. Running in the fourth position in the standings. Brent Hunsucker fifth. Simon Grills in sixth. Seventh, Christopher Lawrence. Eighth is Brandon Browning. Ninth, Christopher Reese. And 10th is Jeffrey Vickery. Certainly another one to watch out for. Now, you see this column on the right, that is all their bonus points, like the stage points that they get throughout the race. So, as you can see, Kyle Spees has really piled up those bonus points. Dustin Matson and Caleb McCarthy not far behind, though. So here we go. We're getting ready for our starting lineup. Cars beginning to grid in here. There's your pole sitter, James Jones. All right, let's go through the starting lineup now that we've got everybody gridded in and we can see everybody real well. Now that we can see everybody real well. 13, James Jones, your pole sitter. Second spot, Christopher Pendle. Starting third, Dustin Matson. Brandon Browning fourth. Vernon Reese going to roll off in the fifth position. Dustin Rouse starting sixth. Sean Donald seventh. Ryan Sizemore 8th. Josh Anderson. And a new looking ride, looks good. 9th position, 10th. Stephen Ford. Now on back. Starting in the 11th position, Kyle Gardner. 12th, Jason Arbor. Christopher Lawrence, 13th. Mike Harper, 14th. 15th is Caleb McCarthy. 16th, Brian Cloyd. 17th is Chris Reese. 18th is Harold Barnes. Simon Grills, 19th. Brett Wilson, 20th. And 21st is Jeffrey Vickery. 22nd is Noah Owens. 23rd, Brent Hunsucker. 24th, Cody Bullock. 25th, Shane Ledoux. 26th is Chris Malcolm. Looks like we've got a wreck already. I'm not sure what happened there. All right, looks like we're gonna pause the starting lineup. Let's take a look back here. Let's try and see who was involved in this. I believe they had taken the green because it was taking a minute to get through. So let's go. Let's see if we can see what's going on in front. Everybody was trying to get caught up. Oh, right there. It looks like behind Brian Cloyd. The 83. I think he may have been in first gear, not sure. But he hit the gas and it shot to the right, so little bumpy start there. That or he hit the brakes. I'm not real sure because he was close to the back of the three, so. But it took several cars already with damage. But let's try this one more time as we get going. 13 still out front. I'm not sure if they waved the caution or if they actually took the green flag there. Guess we'll see if we go to lap 2. Yes, they did start the race. Now the stages today, I believe, is lap 20 and lap 40. Let's make sure. Yes, the first stage will end on lap 20. Once we get some green flag, once we get the green flag going, these laps will tick away pretty quick because these cars are traveling so fast. Looks like we've got a lot of fans out there rooting for the 13. Currently your leader, Pendle. Let's see. He's already lost 25 positions. Chose to go ahead and pit there, looks like. Currently running 27th. Kyle Gartner running 10th. .36 of Kyle Spees. Running a Bud car this week. He's already lost his nose. So for our championship front runner, things already looking not good for him because heavily involved in that on that start crash. That's a big deal for a lot of these competitors looking at this 36 car. As they try to run him down for the championship. And the pace lights are out. Looks like they may restart single file. Are they doubling up? We'll be doubling up here. Brandon Browning moves to the outside. I'm not sure, they may be going single file after that initial start. Had a lot of cars that chose to pit there. Several cars. Cody Bullock pits. Brett Wilson. Several cars involved with damage at the start. Let's see if we can get a fast start here. It appears they will start single file. 48 is getting to the outside. There they go. It's probably where they had a caution before they went green. Sometimes it glitches out like that. They'll be in a pack soon enough. Brandon Browning moves to the outside and takes the lead. They head down the backstretch. There'll be a big draft from these cars. We'll take a look at how fast they're driving around. Currently Browning 241. Now they're 2x2x2 through the field. The whole field is 2x2 right now. That inside line is the fastest way around. You just want to hold the bottom all the way through the corner, all the way down the straight stretches. Just hold the bottom. Oh, somebody gets a little loose. That may have been... No, not the 11. 11's up to second. They're now 3 wide. This track is wide enough to go 6 wide. We'll see at least 4 wide at some point in this race. James Jones just hanging her down on the bottom. Holding that bottom line. Makes it real hard for Brandon Browning to get by on the outside. Oh, the 11 hits the apron and shoots up the track. They coming at you. Just a massive amount of vehicles. All clumped together. It's going to be hard to get past James Jones if he just holds that bottom line. Your championship leader currently struggling mightily with that nose being gone. It's going to really hurt on this aerodynamic sensitive track. He has fallen all the way back to 27th currently. But up front, it's nothing but James Jones leading lap after lap. Outside line can't quite get anything going. It's like maybe a netcode issue there. I thought somebody had blown up. They're 3 wide back in the pack. There's Kayla McCarthy trying to weed her way through to the front. Right now, Matson and McCarthy and Cloyd all need to get up here and try and score as many stage points as they possibly can, because Kyle Spees is having a bad night. Looks like Kyle Spees may go a lap down as they go 4 wide through the corner. Four wide up front. The 27 splitting through. That's Stephen Ford. Currently in third, trying to make a move to the outside. Nobody there to help. But he does get to the outside of the 7 of Josh Anderson. There goes Kyle Speed sliding back. Now a lap down. This front pack, as they go into the corner, there's a big bump, and you see the cars shoot towards the outside wall once they hit that bump. If you get out of the draft, it's not long before you're going a lap down. Let's see the 15 on the outside, heading backwards. I'm going to have to try and get back in the draft. The 48 has slid way back. And Matson, they may think that it's getting a little bit too scary for them up front. You see Brian Cloyd back there doing the same. He's hanging out back in the back along with Ryan Sizemore, trying to not be involved in an incident. Christopher Lawrence, one of the fan favorites, of course, wasting no time heading to the front, needs those stage points. And if all three of the front runners are not going to go for those stage points, then Christopher Lawrence will take them. Some head down in to turn number 3. Lawrence trying to make a run on the outside. Jones doing a great job holding the bottom line. Without help, that 9's just not going to be able to get it done. He attempts a side draft. He does get alongside the 13 for the lead. The 16 doesn't push and takes it 3 wide for the lead going into turn 1. Jeffrey Vickery making a play too, and that 21 runs all the way to the bottom with a big run down the banking. Down the backstretch, Christopher Lawrence trying to make it happen. The 16 of Simon Grills just behind. Let's see if he gives him a push this time. James Jones continuing to lead. They're heading down the front stretch, running 248 miles an hour. 250 into the corner. The 9 needs help. The 13 got a little loose off the corner. Is it enough for the 9 to get down? The 16 runs up behind the 9. Is it going to be enough of a push? Oh, the 9's around the 48, the 27 in the wall. Caleb McCarthy involved. Gardner T-bones Lawrence. All those guys that were moving to the back knew what they were doing, but Browning still involved. Let's go back and take a look. They go into the corner. The 7 of Josh Anderson was on the inside. He clips the apron. See the 7 clips the apron, comes up. Then that was netcode because he never did quite get up to the 9. So that looked like quite a bit of netcode. Let's move out to maybe the chopper view. We can get a better look as they all pile in. Nope, billboards. The 16, the 48, the 27 involved. Vickery, Unsucker Pendle all goes to the bottom. Here comes Caleb McCarthy with just nowhere to go. The 51 as well. You can see they were locking their brakes up. The 24 gets hit from behind as well as she plowed into the 9. And right here, Kyle Gartner just nowhere to go. T-boned. See netcode, the 86 and the 24 sliding through each other. Ryan Sizemore locks them up, has nowhere to go. You see sparks flying. Massive crash. We're getting down to the end of the first stage. Let's take a look from Caleb McCarthy's in-car and see just how quick that these accidents happen. And just nowhere to go. Now let's take a look from the inside of Kyle Gartner's car. As he was the one that T-boned the 9 as he come down. And I mean, just nowhere to go. As you see, as you go through the corner, you can't see that they're wrecking. they're going to be wrecking up in the corner, and I don't think that the 49 is going to be able to see it until he's already there. Oh yeah, he sees the smoke. Oh, just T-boned right in the driver door. The car was still running, so didn't have to tow, was able to get it to the pit lane. Now he's coming out of the pits. James Jones currently still your leader. 7 of Josh Anderson just behind. He does have a little bit of front damage, as you can see. The splitter bent up a little bit from that incident involving the 9. Grills, he looked like he got into the outside wall, but continues out. Looks like the hood may be bent up just a little bit on the right side. Most of these cars just drove right on through. Brian Cloyd made it through safe and sound. Brandon Browning, I feel like he probably had to take his fast repair there. But a lot of damaged race cars. Kyle Speed's gonna have to try and get back onto the lead lap. Currently 27th. He has taken his fast repair, so Kyle Speed's back in it. But he is a lap down. The question is, can he get back on that lead lap? Stage caution coming up. He's got to get around Sean Donald and Noah Owens. Christopher Lawrence went ahead and took his fast repair. All these drivers taking their fast repairs very early in this race. But they don't have a choice. As the pace car pulls in, James Jones gonna take him to the green. Doesn't have the 7 of Anderson behind him to push now. The 16 looks at the bottom, and the 13 doesn't block. The 16 now at the preferred line, but he has front aero damage and can't do anything with it. Can Anderson get back down behind the 13? And he does. Now Josh Anderson pushing James Jones. As they go down the backstretch. Man, they fly into these corners. The 94 Pendle with a huge run on the outside. Has no help, but does he have a big enough room to clear the 13? He may do it. Pendle, does he get down? He didn't get down in time as Josh Anderson pushes James Jones back to the lead. Oh, several cars down below that yellow line. That's the danger zone. You get these cars a little unsettled and they'll come right around. Just flying into that corner. They're gonna come out. This is going to be the white flag for the stage. Next time around, there will be a caution after the 10th car passes the line. James Jones has led most of this race. And it doesn't look like he's going to have any challengers. Will Josh Anderson pull out and try to make a move for the stage win? Now Cody Bullock on the outside with a huge push from Christopher Pendle. Will it be enough when they come down the front stretch? James Jones will take the stage win. We'll have to see where the caution comes out. Should come out at any time. Or maybe not. Maybe we're going to continue green for another lap. James Jones still in the lead. 18 with another charge. And the 18 get around this time. The 13 has been planted on the bottom line. They'll come across again in the lead. They may not be throwing a stage caution this race. There it is. There's your stage caution. Coming out on lap 22 this week. We'll have to see where they line up. Once they get settled, we will go through the top 10. But James Jones is your stage 1 winner. There he is. Look, he's driving an autism awareness car. All right, James Jones. The 18 is in front of him, but I don't think the 18 won the stage. Well, we may have a development there as Cody Bullock is out front. So I'm not sure. It looks like James Jones won the stage to me, but Cody Bullock out front. But your top 10, Cody Bullock, James Jones, Christopher Pendle in third, Josh Anderson fourth, Simon Grills in fifth, Brent Hunsucker in sixth, Jeffrey Vickery seventh, Dustin Matson comes up to get 8th position. Brandon Browning runs back up to get 9th, and Brian Cloyd rounds out your top 10. We're getting word from Facebook that Cody won the stage, so your stage 1 winner is Cody Bullock. He must have been out front at the time of caution. So once you cross that line at the end of the stage, you need to race all the way to the caution flag, and Cody Bullock does that, and he comes away with stage 1 win. We'll have to see how they fare in the pits, who comes out in the front. Looks like everybody taking tires. Alright, if you want to see what these drivers go through on a day-to-day, on a race-to-race basis, we've got 4 drivers that are streaming. Of course, Sean Garrett's in our Facebook, not racing tonight, but there's his Twitch. He'll be back next week, he said. But on Facebook, Christopher Lawrence, that's C. Lawrence Racing. If you want to see him stream and his in-car camera, along with Caleb McCarthy, also on Facebook at McCarthy Racing. And on Twitch, you got Josh Anderson, who we showed you last week. twitch.tv/DI2 soon. And Sean Garrett will be back next week. He's also on Twitch. So as they run out of the pits, Matson will take the lead. Looks like Speed's going to take a wave around. I don't know if that'll put him back on the lead lap or not. I think he may have been 2 laps down. So that may put him... it looks like he... I don't know. Did he already go around? He did. He may have been the free pass car. But I don't believe that put him back on the lead lap. We'll have to see as he comes around if he's still going to be a lap down. But Dustin Matson comes out of the pits in the lead. We'll have to see if he can hold that bottom line just like James Jones did that whole first stage, as the second stage ends at lap 40. Matson, if you saw there on the rear bumper, had a little bit of damage. There on the right rear, Matson bent up a little bit. And that spoiler is a little bit crooked as well. Not sure how the rear damage will affect the aero, but I'm sure it will affect the handling of that number 6 car. As we come down to the front stretch, get ready to take the green flag. It'll be on Matson's. Pendle directly behind. Matson with a good start. James Jones hanging on. With that little bit of aero damage, if he can get hooked back up with that number 7, Josh Anderson may be able to push him back into the lead. But Pendle hanging to the rear of the 6 as they get a great run. Like Cody Bullock taking a look to the inside, but Pendle with a big push down the backstretch. They fan out wide going into the corner. Let's take a look inside Simon Grill's machine, and you can really see just how much banking there is through these corners, and even down the straightaways, quite a bit of banking. But in this gyro cam, you really get the sense of just how high that these corners are and how massive the banking is. As they go through the corner, you see that you're almost turned sideways as they're running 240 through the corner. Oh, and a caution in the back. Like Brian Cloyd may have been involved. Oh, the 27. Take a look at Stephen Ford. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Oh, the 19 went flipping. May have been in front of these. Let's take a look at the 19. I believe he was the one that took a tumble. Yep, it's happening in front of these cars. The 3 did a great job of stopping. The 24 and the 99 involved. The 99 got loose, and the 24 trying to avoid also got loose, and they hit each other, and the 19 went for a wild ride. You can see already in the fence at this point. The 27 sends him airborne and flipping down the front stretch. Finally getting back to his wheels. Let's take a ride along with Shane Tierney. Brian Cloyd doing a great job of just surviving. Saw the wreck start to happen. You see him bailing out. He does a great job of just, oh, there was a gap, and all of a sudden there was no longer a gap. As the 19, a wild ride, flipping, barrel rolling over and over again. And now he sits in the pits. I'll see several cars taking the option to pit there. Pendle being one of them. Taking the option for fuel. As we just have a few laps left at the end of the stage. Looks like Jones may have also pitted. Currently 10th. Someone who's having a good day is Chris Malcolm. Currently running in the 5th position. He is driving that Peter Max All-Star paint scheme that Dale Earnhardt drove in his last All-Star race in the year 2000. Driving a Chevy this week, normally in a Ford. He must have switched to a Chevrolet team. As the team standings are starting this week, so we should have an update next week on exactly who's on what team and how those point standings are going. Chris Malcolm having a great night. Getting ready to go green again. Cody Bullock also having a great night tonight with a stage 1 win. Just have to watch for that stage caution. I think after this green flag, we should have an opportunity to do a turn up the volume. Kyle Gartner running 12th currently. Kyle Spees looks to be the first driver a lap down, so may get the wave around next time around, but will not be storing stage points unless we get another caution before the end of this stage. But as we go green, Dustin Matson brings him down. And there he goes. The 16 and the 18 are teammates. Let's see if they can get linked up together. James Jones drops to the bottom back there, looking to move back to the front. Pendle seeking Matson. Currently fourth. Two by two by two by two. The top 10 all side by side. Brian Cloyd back here being smart. Avoiding the crashes. He does have some damage, but I'm sure he still has his fast repair. Jeffrey Vickery now on the outside of Matson. Does clear him. Finally a pass for the lead. Vickery, the one to get it done. But he moves back to the outside in the 6. Gets back by. Takes the lead back from Vickery. Dustin Matson now to the point. Oh, there they go, the 18. Oh, one car flipping. That's the 41 end over end. Several cars involved, and there's Kyle Spees. Slides in well after the fact, and he does have a little bit of damage, but that may not affect him too much. Cody Bullock, who just won our first stage. Let's see if we can see what happens here. The 41 in the middle. As the 18 come down a little bit, the 41 up a little bit, and they just touch. And the 18 gets involved with his teammate, the 16. Several cars involved. And the 41 shoots into the air. Oh, and on up front, the 13 and the 94 as well. It looks like the only two that escaped a lot of damage. And there goes the 48 and the 7, it looks like, straight into the outside wall. Major championship implications here on this one crash. You see Pendle down to the bottom also with a nose gone. Several cars smoking as if they've blown their engines. A huge crash. Looks like only maybe 2 or 3 cars were not involved in this crash. Let's take a look at this number 4 and watch him drive through. As everything goes around him, misses that, shoots to the bottom, misses all those cars hitting the wall, and the 62 and the 4 also get through without damage. 4 cars survive this crash. Let's see who has a fast repair left. Let's take a ride along with that 41 of Malcolm. Oh, gets sent sky high, rolling down the huge embankment, picks up speed and lands on his roof. And no, finally back to his wheels. And the car is kaput. No RPMs, as you can see on the gauge. There goes Kyle Speeds by. The aid of Ryan Sizemore also involved. Looks like the 41 did have his fast repair. But he may be a lap down by now because he did have to tow. So Kyle Speeds involved in that will not get the free pass. Several cars a lap down. Christopher Lawrence 2 laps down. Donald a lap down. Ford 7 laps down. Speeds is an 18th 1 lap down. Browning looks like he we'll have to see, he may be out. It looks like he has disconnected. Getting ready to go green. These top two do have damage on the rear of their cars. The 62 has no rear bumper. Let's take a look from I believe 15's a lap down, but he's going to be able to be up front here, looks like, or yeah, he's pulling out of the way. Let's take a look from the in car of Jason Arbel. And as you can see, the top three all with damage to the rear of their cars. Looks like we've got a figure 8 racer. We will be covering a big figure 8 race March 4th through the 6th. So you'll have to tune in for that. This seems to have just about as much destruction, if not more destruction maybe, than that figure 8 race will have. As several cars are out of this one, and every wreck involves at least 15 or 20 cars, because you are in the wreck, especially when it happens in the corner. You're in the wreck before you see it happen. All right, here we go, green. Jeffrey Vickery, he's gained 20 positions since the start of this race. Now in the lead, James Jones giving a shove to the 6. Trying to make a move to get back up here for the end of stage 2. Now going 3 wide. James Jones to the outside for the lead. The 6 clears the 21, now to the bottom. James Jones couldn't quite clear Matson. Simon Grill's giving the push. No, he drops to the bottom. Vickery now making a move on Matson. Grills chooses to go low and hangs Matson out to dry. And Vickery back to the point. Jones in second. And here as this stage winds down, let's do a turn up the volume. Moves across the line. Simon Grills in the lead. There is your stage caution. Simon Grills on the same team with Cody Bullock, who won stage 1. So we'll have to see once they wind out here exactly who won that stage. Don't want to say premature. I'm guilty of doing that once already. Looks like Simon Grills is your stage 1 winner. Pit's not quite open yet. And 36 of Speeds just having a terrible day. Your championship leader. Now 3 laps down in 20th. McCarthy, another of the top 3, 28th, 13 laps down. Matson going to score big here today if he can just survive to the end of this race. He can stay on the lead lap. He's currently running 6th. As you see, Stephen Ford taking the wave around on the free pass. But your top 10 in that stage, Simon Grills first. James Jones comes away with another 2nd place in a stage. Josh Anderson in 3rd. These guys gaining a lot of points on these front runners. Jeffrey Vickery gained some points. He was running 10th in points coming into this one. So gaining points, Kyle Gardner comes away with 5th. Dustin Matson 6th, Christopher Pendle 7th, Dustin Rouse in 8th, Ryan Sizemore 9th, and Shane Ledoux rounds out your top 10 in stage number 2. Now several people pit. Ryan Sizemore chose to stay out on the racetrack. Looks like he's gonna pin some people a lap down. Because the 41 stayed out, he is a lap down, trying to get his lap back. But as long as the 8's out there, he's not going to be able to do that. Oh, maybe he will. He's getting a wave around, looks like, the 41 of Chris Malcolm. So he's going to get a free pass. Ryan Sizemore, currently the only lead lap car on the track. Everybody starting to come off the pit lane. Simon Grills gonna lead them off. He'll line up 2nd. Behind that number 8, Ryan Sizemore. There's Cal Speed still out there. Not a whole lot of damage, but he's got a lot of work ahead of him to get back on the lead lap. 3 laps down. So that's going to take a little bit. He's currently 19th position. Let's see, Ryan Sizemore, currently your leader, having a great night. Simon Grills has gained 17 positions in this race. Currently 2nd, James Jones has been, in my opinion, the best in this race so far. 2nd in both stages, has led a lot of laps. I think James Jones is your guy to look at there. coming down the back stretch, getting ready to go green again. Only 13 cars left on the lead lap. We'll have to see what Ryan Sizemore's got for these final 36 laps. Pendle up in fourth. Josh Anderson currently in fifth, having a great night. Kyle Gardner in sixth. Jason Arbull seventh. Now that pace car peels off into the pit lane. Ryan Sizemore with a great restart. Simon Grills trying to make a move on the outside. James Jones looking. Does he make a move to the bottom? Simon Grills getting a big push from Christopher Pendle, and he will move down to the lead. Simon Grills. Ryan Sizemore hanging on strong. Gets a little loose there, but holds on. Never lifts. Gets a run. I think the 94 has been the biggest pusher in this race. Has pushed several cars into the lead, but hasn't been able to be pushed into the lead himself yet. Now as these cars have kind of dwindled, we're down to just about 17 cars still running. 13 on the lead lap. We may get some green flag runs. Simon Grills takes another lap led there. Ryan Sizemore trying to make a move on the outside as he goes way high. Holds on to it though. As we're going single file around this track, and he does drop in. We'll ride along with the Ryan Sizemore machine. These guys trying to hold it on the bottom line. So quick through the corners. These straightaways are so long, but once they hit those corners, I mean, it slingshots them right back around into another straightaway. Ryan Sizemore trying now to get caught up with the Christopher Pendle 94. No, he chooses to go to the bottom. No, now he does go to the outside. And there's a caution. Malcolm's sliding around. See if we can see what happened. The 12 involved, along with the 51. Looks like he came up a little bit, and the 12 just bumped him in the rear. 51 come down. That was net code into the 15. Sends the 15 straight into the outside wall. And the 51 who come down clips the 41. And he goes sliding around. And into the inside wall. 15, quite a bit of damage to the front. Let's see if this machine is smoking as he pulls away. As you see, he's going in a straight line, but his steering wheel is turned to the left. Looks like he has some front suspension damage in with his steering. The 15 of Owens. Damage after that wreck. All right, Simon Grills. Currently still your leader. Everyone chooses the pit except for him. James Jones heading in. 30 laps to go. Maybe making a fuel play here. As they all head down, everyone pits except for Simon Grills. And a lot of people taking fuel only. The 94 does take tires, 4 tires for the 94. As all these cars pulling out now took fuel only. So we'll have to see just how much the tires matter for that 94. Christopher Pendle. As these guys get caught back up, Simon Grills, who's still out on the racetrack. Laps are winding down. Who's going to make a run at these top 2 or 3? That's the question. Another question, can James Jones get this thing to victory lane? Finishing second in a couple stages now. I think James Jones may be my pick to win, but of course you can't rule out Dustin Matson. If he's up front, then he has a shot to win. I think Simon Grills may have stayed out there to try and keep Spees another lap down. I mean, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want him getting wave rounds. This is an opportunity to gain a lot of points. As you can see, our championship standings, Kyle Spees having a bad night tonight. Currently 3 laps down. Dustin Matson running up front. Caleb McCarthy also having trouble. Brian Cloyd is a lap down. Simon Grills, your leader. It's a big opportunity for him to gain quite a bit of points on the front runners. So we'll have to see. Christopher Lawrence also having a bad night. I believe he may be out of this one. He's 26, several laps down. Jeffrey Vickery still hanging in there with an opportunity. And Chris Reese there as well. So some of these front runners that are in this race are in the bottom half of the top 10 in points and are looking to make a big move today. Closes in on that pace car. They pull into pit lane. Now it's on Simon Grills. And there they go. Oh, James Jones looks to the bottom. Looks like Matson will let him in. James Jones now to second. Going to hold into that bottom line. No, he may push up a little bit. No, he's now back down to the bottom. Running down Simon Grills. Everybody trying to hang on to that bottom. Josh Anderson now to the outside. Getting a big push from Jeffrey Vickery. We head down the front stretch. This car is running 235 miles an hour through the corner. Chris Reese a little sideways off the corner, hangs on, keeps the momentum up. He's trying to run down these front runners, gain a few more spots. Vickery shoots the outside, get a little uneasy as they go into these corners. There's a big bump. James Jones now looking to push the 7. 7 pushed the 13 around quite a bit earlier in this race. 7 going to hang with the 13. See if he can get a big push down the backstretch. They're trying to keep away from that side draft, with the 21 making it 3 wide. Up the middle, Jeffrey Vickery. Into the corner, they survive. 21. Now getting help from James Jones. No Jones to the bottom now. Vickery now pulls into the lead on the outside lane. 3 wide just behind. James Jones looking to the outside of Matson. Drops back in line. Now Vickery to the outside. Maybe getting help. Josh Anderson. The number 4, Mike Harper, who's a lap down. This bottom line just too strong. .25 to go. Simon Grills continues to lead. Jeffrey Vickery making a run on the outside. Now Matson going to move to the outside, getting a push from Vickery. A big push down the backstretch. Matson now to the lead. As Grills drops all the way back to 4th. What a push from the outside line. Matson now to the point. You can see the entire pack flying around that corner. I did get the opportunity to run some laps around this track earlier, and just by yourself with no other cars, running 240 mile an hour, 230 mile an hour through the corner is pretty intense. So being in a big pack would be insane as James Jones makes the move on Simon Grills. Now to the back of Dustin Matson. Vickery back here has been trying to make moves work. Just hasn't found the right one to get into the lead. Has now fallen back to the 8th position. We've only got coming down to 21 to go. They're 3 wide just in front. Matson, your leader. Simon Grills now getting a push. Back on the outside of Matson. Can he make it happen as they come down the front stretch? No help currently. As now Josh Anderson makes it 3 wide with a big push. And Christopher Pendle that 6 just powering down on that bottom line. It's just not much that you can do unless you can get to the inside of the car leading. As long as he's holding that bottom, and James Jones looks, just can't quite get there. James Jones running second. "12 cars in this lead pack, and they are all over the place." This track much more wild than Daytona or Talladega, and that's saying something. But as they go through these corners, they hit that bump, they spread wide open from the inside wall, from the inside line to the outside wall. Is Pendle now looking into the lead? If Anderson can give him enough of a push. Can't quite hold it with Matson on the bottom. The big run around the inside. Spees has gained a couple spots in 17th now. Still 3 laps down for those Spees fans out there. Oh, looks like to the pits, Simon Grills. We'll have to see if everyone will have to pit again. I think everyone pitted about lap 30. Top 8 all pitted about 14 laps ago. Like the longest run they've had on fuel was 23 laps. But without a draft, that's going to really hurt Simon Grills' chance, as he's just now coming out of the pit lane. Here come the pack on the outside. Matson just hard to pass. Pendle doing all he can on the outside line. James Jones giving a look, dipping that nose out, trying to not overheat. Pendle taking every run he can. Now got James Jones and Josh Anderson linked up on that bottom line. Can they push around the 6 of Matson? They'll have to both leave him hanging. We're coming down, just 14 laps to go here at the Iracing Superspeedway. Two Fords on the front row here. Pendle and Matson. Pendle's got him cleared. Will he drop to the bottom? He does, and victory. 2 cars now around Matson. But Pendle goes back to the outside lane, allowing victory to the bottom. Victory now your leader. Can Matson get another run? He looks to the bottom. Got a lot of lap cars here. They'll get out of the way. Oh no, one spins. I don't know who it was, but one was spinning. The 27. Currently no caution as he's sitting on the bottom of the track. And there it is, caution now flies with just 12 to go. Let's see what happened here with Stephen Ford. Looks like he was on the bottom. May have been carrying a little bit too much speed. Trying to stay on the flat. Did his best to get out of the way, but just slid up into the corner. And, oh, catches a car there. Shoots straight into the outside wall. That was the number 30. Oh, a big hit. Stephen Ford into the outside wall. And then he comes down to rest in the grass. Number 30 took quite a hit there. Seems to be okay. They're still trying to run down the pace car. There he is. We are live currently on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, so wherever you're watching, if you could give us a like or a subscribe, we'd appreciate it. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty with just 10 to go when they come across the line. Who is going to take the win? Jeffrey Vickery up in the position where he wants to be. Has worked hard to get here. He will. It's like all these guys are going to have to come and get fuel one more time. Simon Grills, through that exchange, lost a lap. So he'll have to stay out and take a wave around. But as they head down the pit lane, currently 11 cars on the lead lap. I think we may get 2 wave rounds here. We'll put 12 cars back on the lead lap. Dustin Rouse will lead them off, along with Jason Arbel in second. So some late race strategy. Dustin Rouse, now your leader. He drives around Simon Gross, so Simon Gross may not be getting his lap back. Looks like Dustin Rouse may have stayed on the racetrack. Let's take a look. Let's see if he stayed on the racetrack or if he pitted. No, he did not pit. As all the other cars were in the pit, he drove around. But yeah, all the other cars are in the pits. He drives around to take the lead. Dustin Matson will have second position. A lot of action still to go here on the Throttle Up Racing Network. As the pace car lights are out, the 3 gets around and will get one of his laps back. Rouse on the inside, Matson on the outside. Just a handful of laps left to run. Currently have 12 cars on the lead lap. We'll have to see how Dustin Rouse fires off. Now in charge of this restart. He's getting up to speed. Jeffrey Vickery will choose to go to the bottom and go around Matson with a big run down the backstretch. Dustin Rouse in the position to be in, as it has been so hard to pass for the lead. We come back down the front stretch. 94 giving a big push to the 30. Now Vickery looking to the outside. The 8 of Ryan Sizemore runs up to third position. Looks like Harold Barnes on Facebook rooting for this number 30. Also, Josh Anderson and James Jones on that team. And the Ford Mike Harper, 4 of those cars on the lead lap. It's Dustin Rouse hanging on. Oh, Sizemore a little loose off the corner, holds on. And it looks like they are wrecking behind them. We'll have to see if a caution comes out. The car's sideways behind, but looks like they will continue. Shane Ledoux making a move into the 4th spot. Pendle looking to the inside. When will he make his move? Only 5 to go now. Matson on the outside, but has no help. They go down the back stretch at over 245 miles an hour. Big bump as they go into the corner. You see those cars get really wiggly. Pendle has been the best pusher this whole race long. He's pushed several cars into the lead. Right now, he's holding a car into the lead. As now he gives a little bump to the 30, but he still holds behind. Looks like Kyle Gartner back there may have been separated from this front pack. Along with the 13 of James Jones. They may be out. Have a chance to win this one without a caution. Let's see if they can get caught back up. 16 looking high, looking low. Now looking to the middle. Only 6 cars left in the front pack. With 3 laps to go, who's going to get it done? Matson at the back of this 6-car pack. The 16 of Simon Grills looks to the bottom. Oh, and there they go. Somehow they save it. Simon Grills, what a save. But that'll take a couple more drivers away from this front draft, as if these cars can just hang on, it'll be between them 3. You see everyone else trying to draft back up to the front, but it looks like they're going to run out of time with only a lap and a half left to go. Pendle now pushing the 30 hard down the back stretch. 250 mile an hour as they reach turn 3. The 8 moves a little high. Does he have a chance? Pendle, when will he make his move? Will he go high? Will he go low? White flag here at the Iracing Superspeedway. A lot of those cars did catch back up. James Jones now moves back into the top 5. But it's all Dustin Rouse and Christopher Pendle in the top 2. Pendle behind Dustin Rouse as they go into turn 3. They both get a little loose. Can the 94 get a run? Oh, cars are flipping. The 8 now to the outside. Dustin Rouse gets it done. Ryan Sizemore comes across in second with Christopher Pendle finishing in the 3rd position. We had a big crash right there at the end. Let's see if we can See what happened. There we go. That's what we're looking for. It's the 12. Look like he may have been making a move. Clips the front of the 6 and just goes flipping, spinning on his roof. The 6 of Matson ended up 10th as he slid to the inside wall. Hard hit for Matson. It's your winner, Dustin Rouse. As he does burnouts down the front stretch. Pendle certainly was the best pusher today. All right, Christopher Pendle. Let's see if we can get a word with our third place finisher. Here he is. Hey, Chris, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
How you doing?
Hey, you were looking very fast. Certainly the best pusher. Pushed a lot of cars into the lead in this one. Just couldn't quite get anybody to push you into the lead there towards the end. How did the race look from your standpoint?
I tell you what, that was a tough race, man. First off, congrats to Rouse. He's a good friend. To see him get in, he deserves it. It's you get the runs on these cars, and then as soon as you try to make a move, unless you got some help, you're done. And I pretty much did everything I could to make runs and to get some momentum going on that high line. Me and the 21 a couple times where he made some good outside movement. But second place at Superspeedway track, and I tell you what, I hate Superspeedway, so I'll take a second place finishing third. Third my debut last week, second this week, maybe a win next week. You never know.
All right, Christopher Pendle. You got anybody that you'd like to thank?
Just like last week, thanks for the league for letting me have me. Thank you for the team that just picked me up. I'm going to do my best to go out there and race good every week, race clean every week, get some wins for the guys, and hopefully I can make a good statement here and hopefully I belong, and we'll see y'all next week at Bristol. That's going to be fun.
Oh, yeah, back-to-back top threes. I'm sure we'll see you in victory lane before the season's over.
I hope so. I do too.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now our second place finisher, Ryan Sizemore. Hey, Ryan, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, man. How are you?
Hey, you look very fast. Kept your car clean, come in at the end, and end up with a second place finish. How did it look from your perspective?
Man, first and foremost, got to thank Ayers Iracing Paints, Thigh Huggers. Without them on board, I don't think it'd be possible. Had a fast car. Got caught up in a few incidents early on, nothing major. Had to use a quick repair at the end of stage 2. They just kind of set me up for the long run. Just kind of, hanging out in the back. I didn't want to drop too far back. That way I could still make the runs that I needed to make. But yeah, dude, just charged up, and I was thinking there was gonna be a caution there at the end that was gonna stack us back up, but we kept at it, and I got a run off of 4. And I thought I was going to have it. I ain't going to lie. I thought I was going to get the win. I got up to his quarter, side drafted a little bit. He just had a little more help in the rear. But, man, what a fun race.
Well, it was certainly fun to watch. A lot of crashes, big violent crashes. So good to see that you survived and got second. That was a great run off the corner to come home second position for Ryan Sizemore. I'm sure we'll see you more in these interviews before the season's over.
We can only hope. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, Ryan. All right. And our winner, Dustin Rouse. He may be still sitting out here. There he is. There's your winner, Dustin Rouse. Hey, Dustin, this is Dakota in the broadcast booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Hey, big win. Made a big move on pit road, look like, to come out first, and you held it all the way to the end. How did the rest of your race go? Because we didn't see you up front much.
I'll be honest with you. I thought after the first stage when I ran out of fuel, I thought I was down and out. I thought there was no way I was going to come back to the front.
Well, you did, and led quite a few laps right there at the end. Nobody could quite get around you. Looked like Pendle was a great pusher towards the end, and you hold on to the win. Do you have anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Pendle for that push. There's no way I could have done it without him. And then I'd like to thank Kool-Aid Monster Motorsports for taking me.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure we'll see you in victory lane again before the season's over. And we appreciate you, and good win.
Hey, man, thanks. Have a good evening.
Thank you. All right, there's your top three. Dustin Rouse with the win. So we'll have to see. This is going to be interesting to see how the points shake up after this week. You had your top three in points. Kyle Spees comes home 16th. And I don't believe he had any stage points. So that's going to be a big hurt. And Dustin Matson, he did get some stage points, but he comes home in the 10th position after that wreck coming out of turn 4 on the last lap. And Caleb McCarthy, 23rd in this one. And those were your top three in points coming into this race. This was certainly the wildest race that we've seen in this series, the Rebel Racing League. And next week, we'll be at Homestead, 140 laps, and it should be a little more timid, but certainly more timid than this Iracing Superspeedway, because that was a insane race with some huge crashes, cars flipping end over end. Very wild. We go to Homestead next week, so that should be much more timid. Kind of hard to pass there. But then after that, we're at Bristol for a 200-lap shootout. Then we go to Talladega, so another super speedway. And that's your next three events. We appreciate everybody for sticking around and hitting that subscribe and like button, no matter where you're at, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. And we'll be back next week at Homestead, Miami. And we will see you then.
What you think about when you're born into a fire?